Hi, Dr. Wilson. So this is my final video presentation. So we're just going to get right into it. What I have learned this semester. During this class, I feel like I have learned many different things. One of the biggest takeaways from this class is learning about motivational interviewing. Arguably, motivational interviewing might have been the most important thing that we have learned, in my opinion, because it is a standard practice of how therapists and counselors need to talk to their clients. The video showing the good example and the bad example of the motivational interviewing really helped me see the importance of how a professional's wording comes into play when talking to a client. What stood out to me in that video is how the patient was reacting to the bad example and how her body language and her tone of voice, she was getting defensive and she just felt like she wasn't being heard out because the counselor was not being understanding and was more telling her what is wrong than asking her and giving her a chance for her to speak. How was she feeling? Instead of him telling her what she's doing wrong. I also learned the basics of various psychological disorders and subject matters such as psychopharmacology, like medicine, through the Relias program. I really think I enjoyed the Relias program because it gave a lot of solid information about the psychological disorders and giving us examples, and I think the quizzes were really helpful because it gave us a chance to practice what we learned. And also the videos that Dr. Wilson showed in class, I feel like were really helpful and very relevant to what we were learning. One of the videos that stuck out to me, which I will talk about later, is the video of the woman living with OCD, and also the video of the woman who is going through psychosis. She had bipolar disorder, and she was going through psychosis, and she was videotaping her experience. I feel like that really gave perspective into the world of bipolar disorder, and it was helpful to actually see that what is happening in the symptoms in person. How was this class personally beneficial? The content I learned this semester was personally beneficial because not only did I learn the appropriate ways to go about helping others, I learned ways that I can help myself, as well as learning about my own mental health disorders. One particular moment in class that stood out to me is when we were watching the video about the woman who was living with OCD and her experience. I felt like it was really important that it was brought up, because a lot of people with OCD just are characterized by everything has to be neat, but that's not what it was. And I feel like it was really helpful to bring awareness to that. And I know other people in the class could also relate, and I think they appreciated that too. I also really liked the self-care check-ins, because even when I had weeks where I felt like I couldn't do self-care, it would always make me reflect and say what did I do for myself, and how was it beneficial. So taking that time to like reflect on my week and some of the positive things that have happened has been really helpful and good for my mental health. So that's how I think it was personally beneficial to me. And how can it help others? So the knowledge I have gained from this class can help others by making me a more competent professional and preparing me for working with people who are suffering with various types of mental illnesses. Of course, I am still on my educational journey and have many more classes to take, but I feel like this class has done a good job of giving me a basic overview of the world of behavioral health science. Like I said before, the biggest takeaway I got from this class is the process of motivational interviewing. And by properly knowing how to do this technique of talk therapy, I feel like I will be able to make my clients feel less nervous and more willing to be open and be more comfortable in the counseling environment. So that is my video presentation, and yeah.